Hey friends, welcome back. You have reached the Self-Care Summit where we are learning some coping skills in the midst of this global crisis. I appreciate you being here and I hope that you are all doing really well, staying healthy as you can be. And yeah, today I have my friend Elizabeth here. So Elizabeth, could you introduce yourself and let us know a little bit about what you do for people?
Hi, my name is Elizabeth, and I've been a massage therapist for over 13 years. I just kind of stopped counting at the 13-year mark. Um, and so I've also been in the spa industry a little bit longer than that because I was a nail technician first. And I'm also trained in Reiki, so I'll teach Reiki classes. I'm also a doula, and I also teach at a community college in the massage program.
You
So
are a girl after my own heart. I also have a whole gamut of all of these different things. It never gets boring, right?
yeah, and really about keeping everything fresh and interesting and not burning out. That's my goal, not to burn out. And also, it's a way to kind of recession proof the business by having multiple different angles to go with. Right now, the only angle I can do is the Reiki because of the social distancing, like the
Yeah.
massage programs closed down. The doulas aren't allowed in the hospital rooms right now. Massage is closed down. So um, it's all about kind of also recession proofing your business as well.
Yeah. So multiple ways to help all of your clients because only some clients resonate with certain things. So you want to
Yeah.
be able to help everybody that comes in your path. And also, I love that recession proofing. That's a great term for now with this pandemic that's
Mhm.
happening. Actually, very smart. So you kind of preempted this. You preempted, like, how can I keep my business going even in the midst of a crisis? Tell me a little bit more about that. How is specifically COVID-19 affecting you in your business and you personally?
Well, me personally, I just like to say how hard it is to be told you're non-essential.
Yes, I agree with that. My hands are missing my people.
And kind of as I sit with that feeling of being told you're non-essential and wondering, like, well, are chiropractors considered essential? Are they still working? And I've heard multiple things coming back from that. Um, they're not on the list in Illinois of businesses that have to close. So, I even read an article saying, okay, you chiropractors can stay open, but you got to tell your massage therapist to go home.
Mhm.
And that's a very interesting kind of thing to sit with, especially because I consider it to be essential. I consider touch to be essential. All the, even when I'll teach about one thing. The recession proofing is not my idea. I use the book I use, Business Mastery.
Oh yeah.
That's what she talks about is recession proofing your business. And it's a lot of things that I love the fact that I now teach because it's made me a better massage therapist. So yeah, it's kind of weird to sit with the ideas of non being essential and like the pop places are essential. Alcohol is somehow essential. Like you
Well, I can understand that.
and see, as someone who doesn't drink, I don't consider that essential. But when I teach my students about how essential touch is,
Yeah.
and even if you look back at the studies they've done about how it really boosts our immune system, and it's not just us massaging, but hugs and like people who don't have partners aren't getting that essential touch
Mhm.
that's so important. And that's really hitting me hard right now is I didn't realize how much my needs of touch were getting met by doing massages.
Absolutely. I'm in the same boat. I mean, I understand this is a severely communicable disease virus that's happening and it's so easy to spread. And the goal out there is to, lessen the curve, flatten the curve and make it safe for all of us and to get us back to work quicker. But at the same time, I'm like, I spent 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours a day offering touch to people. That was fulfilling a need in me that like you, I didn't even know that I had that. Like I knew I was offering healing. I know that people felt better. They were getting their needs satisfied. And now I'm sitting here like, where's my bodies?
and,
Come here,
and, and,
sweetie.
and it's funny because you see all these, I have a lot of hairstylists friends, and you see they're sharing all these videos where a hairstylist is cutting the grass, and
Yes.
it's just, you don't see videos of massage therapists kneading dough, but that is something I have in my class, like get rid of the, get ready, your hands ready,
Yeah.
because that doesn't, like, we still aren't getting our needs met. Haha, I didn't do that on purpose.
Love it. Nice pun.
We're not getting our needs met by kneading dough, because it's the touch, and it's so important.
Yeah.
And then it has me questioning that I have so many clients who consider touch essential, or that it keeps them out of pain and out of the doctor's office in my practice. And I'm like wondering, is it considered essential for these people? Because I'm worried that these people are now going to have to go to the doctor since they can't come to see me.
Well, I hear you. It's nervous system to nervous system that builds that connection. And you're a Reiki practitioner, so you can get into the whole alchemizing and passing energy between people, and all of that exists. I mean, you can measure that. You can measure how far out somebody's energy goes and how far it comes back. And we're touching each other. And I don't know. Maybe I can get a little bit of comfort in knowing that even at 6 feet, I still have like an energetic passing and energetic touching of somebody else, and them with me too. And just by reading face expressions and things like that, even through video, reading your face expression right now and laughing with you, my body's starting to feel better already. So we have smidgens, we have glimpses, and we have tastes of still being able to connect, even though it's from a distance.
Yeah, I'm definitely talking more with other people. I'm calling more people when I go do my dog walk. I'm on the phone because I'm just missing that connection that I have with people. How it's affected. So that's me personally. So that's me wrapping my mind around not being told I'm not essential. And I think this is a great opportunity for us to really maybe journal and figure out what's essential to us instead of the government telling us what's essential. And that just understanding what that is for us in our own lives. And in my own life, any little money that's coming in from the Reiki, for example, is going towards food, because for me that's essential. So I'm not allowing any right now, that essentially I can make sure that I'm fed, including food now and food in my garden for later. Essentially.
So sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's fine. So in my business, how it's affected is, of course, there's no touch, there's no interconnectedness. I've had clients who, one of the techniques I learned is myofascial release, and I work from home, by the way. And so I buy a bunch of John Barnes's books and I lend them out. So I've had clients be like, hey, can I borrow one of your books? Just leave it at your doorstep. I've had clients I also do offer something called Medibody mud packing. And I go, well, I'll make you the mud and I'll send you a video on how to do it. I've been doing the distance Reiki, offering a meditation on Facebook Live every day, just so I can help support my clients and still kind of keep the business alive a little bit. So it's running very low capacity right now, but just trying to keep the business going and keeping my clients, when they come to me and they need something, I tell them, if you have a problem, call me. I can talk to you about it over the phone and suggest stretches. I've been making videos for exercises that they can do until they can come see me. So still being supportive to my clients, it's just in a much different fashion.
Yeah. So I hear the way that you've kind of tackled this, being at home and being called non-essential, is by prioritizing what's essential for yourself, and then what's essential for your business too, and what could absolutely help your clients in the here and now. And it's not just helping here and now, it's helping in the future too, because it's still an education process. It's still a learning process. Teaching them a stretch for right now, they could come back to that 10 years from now and say, oh, that really worked for me. I can't get in for a massage for a month.
Yeah.
Assuming that you're busy again in 10 years, which I know you will be. So I'm going to go back to that stretch that Elizabeth taught me way back when we couldn't have massage. So you're setting some groundwork, not just for yourself and the prioritizing what's good for you, but also the groundwork for retained client education.
Building trust. I'm ultimately still building trust with my clients, knowing that they can trust me when they need help.
Yeah.
That I'm not going to abandon them.
And that trust is everything. I mean, that's why you retain your clients to begin with. That's why clients keep coming back to you, is that trust. And what an honor to be able to hold somebody's body for an hour every other week or a month or whatever their time frame may be. That really is the ultimate trust. So I love that you are maintaining a sense of integrity with that throughout this. Thank you for sharing all of that.
Thank you.
So that's kind of how you're counteracting worry and fear and still bringing a little bit of money in for yourself. So a little bit's a little bit's a little bit, right? We got to be grateful for everything that we can do.
Yeah.
Tell me more about maybe like on a daily basis. So you're a massage therapist, other massage therapists are watching this, but there's also others from the community that have no idea. They don't know about massage. They don't know anything about Reiki or energy. Tell me, for their benefit, what self-care means to you. What is self-care?
So it's kind of interesting that because when I was in school for massage therapy is really when I kicked in my own self-care. It was something that happened at the same time. I became a sugar addict to being aware of what the food I was putting into my body. I started learning about my health and healing. I'm hypothyroid, so naturally healing that. I was a raw foodist for a while. I still love raw food. So all these different things that it's funny because they happened at the same time that I came into the idea of massage. And so self-care for me is I'm blessed in the fact that I have a yard and I can get into my yard and dig in the dirt, because being outside is so essential. And I think right now we're still really lucky because we are allowed to go outside. I can't believe how many people I see walk past my house now with either their dog or their kids. Everyone's going for walks, because that's not a luxury that all countries have right now. And they are banning that in some places. Yesterday I went for a bike ride. There are many countries that aren't even letting you do that anymore. So I think right now we're really blessed that we can still, because we're spent plenty of space right now between, I'm in the the burbs, so I was the only one, like few other people on the bike trail yesterday. Well, it was also raining, but so still taking care of my body and my health. And I think it's almost a disservice, because we want to keep our immune system strong and healthy, and telling people that they can't go for a walk or exercise, the gyms are closed down and you can't even go for a walk around your neighborhood, is really being a disservice to people who are trying to stay healthy right now.
Yes. And you are in Chicago, correct?
So I'm in the burbs of Chicago, yeah.
Chicago, and I live in upstate New York. So you live in a little bit bigger of a city, and I'm looking at New York City from a distance there. It's about 6 hours from me, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, what a difference it can make, country to country, city to city, as far as the impact of this goes, and just the amount of gratitude that I have that I can go outside. I mean, going outside is my lifeline right now. It truly is my lifeline. Yeah. And you mentioned gardening. What are you doing to start your garden right now?
So before we got to stay in place, I wasn't sure what was going to be closed. So I ran to the store and got a bunch of mushroom compost. That was, everyone's getting toilet paper. I'm like, I need mushroom compost. The only one in that section of the store. And so I've already started my radishes and my carrots and my peas. I've started I have frost cloths, so I'm hoping that the kale and the kohlrabi are still going to be okay. Starting some lettuce underneath all those frost cloths. So gardening, and it's funny because for people who haven't took it up or aren't gardeners, there's been a run on seeds. I order seeds always in March, and I placed my order and I went to go check on it, and the website said we had to close down. All of the companies are we had to close down for a week to catch up on orders. So many more people are getting into gardening right now because they want to have I think anytime there's a loss of control in our external environment, we can say, okay, what can I control? What can I control? I can start a garden, and then I have control over my food in a few months.
Right. Because we really don't know. We don't have a timeline on this. We don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I'm watching the grocery stores doing the best that they can. I'm watching markets do the best that they can to keep keep the shelves as full as possible with all the panic buying and even panic selling that's happening. But we truly don't know what's going to happen. So I love the idea of getting your compost, getting the seeds that you can find available, and starting something. And if worse comes to worse, you just have a excuse my language, a shit ton of veggies to hand out to your community and to share.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, it's what can I do in this moment? Like, it's pandemic around me. What can I do? Like, so last week it was, I'm O negative. One of the biggest ways I always give back as a universal giver is, oh my God, that's so I like, that's my blood type. And I'm like, hey, I am a universal giver. I do massage.
In many ways.
As I donated blood, you know, because they're having a shortage of blood. I'm like, what can I do in this moment? I can't control what the government regulations are going to be. I can't control whether, you know, I can do a little bit, but hey, I may get sick, you know, as you start to hear a few people getting sick. But what can I control? I can donate blood. I can grow my garden. I can work on my self-care. So because classes got canceled, instead I'm going to be teaching in the summer. So I'm working on, okay, but it's hard. It's really hard to put my concentration into building, you know, classwork when I'm, you know, you're experiencing so much stress and stuff like that. So also kind of giving yourself permission to tune out. I think that's the reason they're considering alcohol essential, is because giving yourself permission to numb out for a little bit, whether or not it's binge watching a TV show. I had to get off Facebook for a while. Or, I mean, take care of your health in a way that don't drink too much alcohol. The pot shops are really busy, you know, and I think give yourself permission to do some self-care, but also that we're going to need to numb out, because this is just too much for us to handle constantly.
Yeah, one of the interviews that I did yesterday, we talked about how there's kind of this grief process happening around the need to be productive. Like, we are in a culture right now where it is go, 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 and we need to be productive all the time. And we feel like we're not enough, or we should be doing more. If we're not producing something, checking off the to-do list every day. And I love that you brought up, give yourself permission to do nothing, to just sit there and Facebook for a while, or get off of it, to Netflix for a while, or get off of it, and to drink your alcohol, eat a little bit of sugar, a lot of my friends are baking.
The flour's been sold out everywhere. I'm not surprised.
Yep, we're like, well, let's see, how do we use almond flour now? What do we do? So really, there is just this element of having grace around showing up each day as a new day and just doing whatever feels right in the moment. And sometimes doing your best and doing what feels right is not doing what would normally feel productive or even good for you. It's just what's happening now. And that will change in the future. You can bring yourself back to whatever high expectation of yourself you want to, when there's a sense of normalcy that has come back.
I know. And I was just talking to a friend, and she was feeling a lot of shame over not doing yoga every day, or there was just a lot of shame. And the reason I had to get off Facebook is I noticed that Facebook people were shaming each other constantly, you know, and I'm just like, when did this become okay to bully, you know, like, just because you're stressed, that we can tend to project our feelings onto other people. I think this is a great opportunity to be like, what am I feeling right now? Like, do all that self-work that we don't normally have.
Yeah, definitely. And be supportive to each other. So if you see that somebody's actually, Facebook, let me gather my thought here for a second. Facebook is oftentimes somebody reaching out for help. So if they are saying violent things, if they are being uber political, if they are, picking on other people, that's actually, in some cases, them saying, I need help here, I need help. So maybe finding a way to be supportive of each other, check on people. Just when you notice that their posts are kind of taking a turn, if you're happen to be on Facebook, then maybe just check on them and say, hey, what's really going on? And we can ask ourselves that too. You have these reactions. I have reactions because I'm human. when I notice myself being reactionary, you know, what's really happening in there? And I love coming back to, and what's essential? What is essential right now?
Yes, and that's great because that's how I use Facebook. Is I think we've become, especially as being working from home, I don't have coworkers, you know, and I always tell my students, you need to get your needs met outside of your business. Your clients aren't there to meet your connection. Like, they're not there to meet your needs. You're there to meet their needs. So I use Facebook to connect with people, either whether that's massage therapists all over the world or just my friends that I haven't seen in a while, or my family that I haven't seen in a while. That I love that Facebook is great for that connection in a time when it seems like community has such a different meaning. You know, it's like, you know, I don't like privacy fences because I want to have, you know, have connection with my neighbors. And so it's, you know, a very weird feeling about connection and what community means now. And I think more than ever in this, we're going to realize how important community really is.
Yeah, it definitely gives a whole new perspective. And I mean, I am just amazed at my community in the way that the folks I know are supporting each other. And, you know, whether it's promoting each other's businesses, their small businesses on Facebook, or just reaching out and saying, hey, or, you know, the neighborhood is doing sidewalk challenges so that when people do take walks, they get little love letters and messages on the sidewalks. And
nice.
so many things. It's beautiful to witness. And gosh, what a great learning opportunity for what matters, and letting some of the superficial stuff go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Elizabeth, if you could give one more final message to the community, and that can be massage therapists, it can be the community as a whole, friends, the world, globally, whatever you want, what would that message be?
The only thing that's coming up for me right now is the two things I would say. Something you said kind of brought up to me. Someone once said to me, everything is love. And I'm like, no, I got bullied as a child. Everything is not love. And then and then I found this quote that said, everything is either an act of love or an asking of love.
Ooh, I love that.
And I probably slaughtered it, but just that concept that I keep in my mind, like you said, if it's either someone's being very loving to you, or they don't ask for it, so maybe they're asking for it in a really bad way. Or when someone says something kind of really nasty, I'm like, wow, how must they're talking to other people? We have this internal dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other quote that really spoke to me, and I use this in my meditation. I did live Facebook meditations every day for my clients. Nat Han, I say his name wrong, I apologize. But a quote that when you have a glass of water and you pour a cup of salt in it, it becomes
You're cutting out just a little bit, so I'm going to have you repeat that quote for us.
when you have a glass of water and you put a cup of salt in it, it becomes undrinkable.
Yeah.
You put that same cup in the river and you can still drink from it, still wash your clothes in it, you can still bathe in it. That we should love like the expanse of the river and not just this. I absolutely feel like in my business is an expression of my love, of love for what I do for my clients, and just love expansively. So love people even though we don't agree with them.
Yeah.
You know,
that they're showing up and they're doing the best that they can, no matter what our judgment of what they're doing looks like. I really truly believe that everybody's doing the best they can right now.
Yeah, absolutely. My dog's about to say hi.
Oh,
Coco, lay down. Coco, lay down.
You're welcome in these videos. My cat's running
Coco,
around.
lay down. Come on, lay down. She's big too.
Oh, nothing wrong with little puppy love. Well, very good, very good. Those are some amazing quotes to end this with, and I really appreciate you being on and sharing your version of love and sharing your version of how you're helping folks stick with the feeling of feeling essential and knowing what they can do to remain essential throughout their days. Thank you so much, Elizabeth.
Thank you. Coco
Awesome.
heard me say love, and she's like, "What about me? Don't you? Wouldn't you love me?"
Of course we do. All the love for the pets, all the love.
Yeah, and love for me is one of my core values. So I always think it's really fun to explore what your core values are. My core values are love and health. Core values in the midst of all of this.
Absolutely. I think we're all learning how to prioritize those a little bit. All right. Well, I will let you say goodbye to our lovely audience. And
Thank you very much. So again, my name is Elizabeth, and my website is elizabethshealingpath.com. And I have a blog and all sorts of good stuff and videos that I like to post. I also, even make raw recipes too. So there's a lot of stuff on my website to check out, even if you don't live in the Chicagoland area.
awesome. And I'm assuming you have a Facebook presence as well.
Facebook. I don't really do the Twitters and the other ones, but I'm on Facebook as well. Because right now, if you want to join me, it's look up Elizabeth's Healing Path on Facebook. I'm going to be doing those meditations for 31 days. So throughout, if you want to join me for those live meditations, join me.
Awesome. I'll have to check those out as well. Thank you very much. All right, guys, that was day 4 of our self-care summit. Stay tuned for day 5 next. We'll see you later. Have a good day and stay well. Bye.